Knock, knock.
Alright. Welcome back to another stream of Disco Elysium with our first playthrough of the game, and we're of course still doing the viewer influence Twitch integration. And yeah, today's session number 3. We still haven't even started the actual investigation of a body we're supposed to investigate. So maybe we're gonna get that today. Yeah, the first 2 streams would just take my time really, you know, speaking to people, but also getting familiar with some of the choice and narrative systems in the game. And yeah, just getting familiar really with the whole universe and setting. And yeah, overall, of course, we're supposed to investigate. I would say we kind of like started on some level because we're, you know, of course, getting to know people. It might pay off later. But yeah, I would like to eventually get to the dead body we're supposed to investigate today. Maybe. Depends how it goes. But yeah, that's the plan. Also, hey Varod, welcome in. How's it going, Sunny? Hope you're having a nice day so far. Or night, I should say, probably. Also, hey Nick, welcome in. How's it going? Yeah, that was just a few seconds. Just barely. But yeah, thank you so much for joining as well. Been a couple of days since we last played this. About 5 days, I think. We've been finishing Arise, Son of Rome in the meantime, and of course taking a bit of a weekend break. The ants might try to carry the body away. That's right. You know, at this pace we're going, even a snail would be faster, I think. But yeah, so last time we've been in a bookstore here and we talked, I guess, to the bookseller, but also to, you know, just like reading up on some of the books they're selling here. Definitely appealing to a certain audience that likes the extreme. Rod, going good, thanks, dude. Having a great early morning. How are you? That's great to hear, Rod. Definitely great to hear. And yeah, doing quite well. Been yeah, out and about today a little bit. Since it's Levy's week off, we've been just doing some stuff together. And definitely been enjoying the weather change over here as well. Until yesterday we had like 33 degrees Celsius. But yeah, today we had like a temperature bump of like 12 degrees or something. So definitely feels much more like fall over here now. It even rained, which is crazy because it hasn't rained in like a month or so. But yeah, definitely well appreciated. I think nature was also quite happy about it. I think literally the only one who wasn't happy about the rain was our doggo. It's just a quarter visit to my stream, 4 visits per year. You're a busy guy. Totally understandable. But yeah, I hope the last quarter has been good. Nick? Looking forward to our next visit in the next quarter. The quarterly reports. I have it's the hotel.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons
Delta Commerce Center.
Ah yeah, just a few. Main Hall Building A, the Andrew Orlando Hair SCA. Artemitips Boxing for Young Athletes in Gym. 24-hour window. Emma's Fashion Atelier. The Bronze Taxi, the rest has been burned off. Should be like Roman's Taxi. The Bellic Brothers Taxi, and the rest has been burned off. Of the Great Journey of Hyamda Laman from Hyamda. That's the one. There's like a whole universe about it. It's good you got some rain, especially if there was any regions that needed some. Nadu's like, what is this rain doing? Yeah, Nadu was so accustomed to the dry heat over here. But yeah, we had pretty bad forest burns here as well, and fires. And they also put like, you know, danger signs with like, better don't smoke anywhere near the forest, otherwise you might cause another one. So that's when you know that it's definitely been too dry. Yeah, that's correct, Nick. Yeah, we've been together for 3 years, actually. Yeah, 3 years together, 2 years living together. So it's been a while. Also, hey Vakasu, welcome in. What is this game about? If only I knew. I didn't really get around playing it yet. Yeah, no, just kidding. At least halfway. Basically, you're playing as a cop that doesn't really remember much about last night or what's happened before. And you're supposed to investigate a murder. And yeah, the game has like a couple of RPG mechanics. Most noticeable is the narrative with different choices in the story. So it has a very deep and rich, story-driven, choice-based narrative. And yeah, I mean, you mostly walk around talking to people. It's not really having like, you know, a gameplay aspect in terms of like real-time stuff, I don't think. At least so far it didn't. So it's very much, you know, a narrative-based game. Yeah, I know, right, Nick? But it's definitely crazy to think about. It's been already 3 years. This is awkward, you're probably my worst follower. No excuses, just living under the rock these days. Yeah, no worries, Nick. I mean, it's not really something that I, you know, talk about all the time or something. You know, usually I just focus on the game I'm playing and leave most of my private stuff out. But in that case, since it's kind of like overlapping in some ways, you know, it of course gets mentioned every now and then, but yeah, don't have to feel bad about it. So, quite a few companies being inside here.
Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want to talk to you.
Okay. I think I'm gonna come back here at a later point, once I actually have any reason to talk to someone. Otherwise I'm gonna be busy with that building alone just for ages. Oh, and look at this, we actually finally found the body. It's kind of funny that I literally only had 2 ways to take when I went out of the hotel. And I chose the complete other one. Like, complete different direction. Jesus. Can you guys stop it?
Oh yeah, Nappa Gumpy Kuno!
Hey kid, the word police business.
Right in the dick, Kuno! Get him right in the dick!
Also, hey there, demigod, welcome in. How's it going? You just finished playing AC2 and now into Brotherhood? Hell yeah. Is it your first time playing those games? The Ezio one? How did you like AC2? That's like hands down one of my favorite games. Is this a dream? It must be. I would never find what I'm actually looking for in this game. Yeah, Rod, it's like right in the dick. Wait, what? Nick, you've just been really busy with life. This is not the place, not the time to ramble about it, but in the last 2 or so years, you barely even played anything. You're spending nights watching podcasts pretty much. I mean, that's totally fair too, Nick. You know, sometimes, yeah, you just need to focus on what you need to focus on. And that's totally fair. But, yeah. Still hope that, you know, everything is going well for you overall. And, yeah, always appreciate you dropping by, of course.
Love it in the dick.
The boy is sweating profusely. His eyes are like 2 black holes and his jaw is twitching as if trying to break free from the empire of his body.
Okay, so this is gonna be the first viewer choice. So just to explain it for those who haven't ever been there for the viewer influence part of this playthrough. Basically, Twitch has an integration that I activated that allows you to vote on the choices that you would like to hear. And basically on desktop, it would just appear on screen and you can just press whatever choice you would like it to be. If you're mobile, then you have to go on the top right of the chat. There's like a symbol of the protagonist's head from this game. And if you click on there, you can actually find the votes once the vote is being started, essentially. And yeah, right now votes are 1. Hold on, what does it mean? 2. Stop throwing rocks at my crime scene. Or 3. Stop using slurs at my crime scene. That's not how we do it. And we're gonna start it now. Also, hey there, Stanley, welcome in, dude. How is it going? Bottom left character image looks like your LinkedIn profile picture. I'm sure lots of companies are writing you as a result of it.
Fuck that! Kuno, yeah! Right in the mouthhole!
Jesus.
They pay you no heed or pretend not to notice you.
Shits himself?
The rake, Kuno! You should throw the rake at him, Kuno!
The fuck? Does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener.
Let's talk to Kim, see what he has to say.
We shouldn't do anything. I don't tempt such forces.
What forces?
You will see.
Have I seen the new Age of Mythology remaster? I don't remember if I'm into that, but you recall me playing Stronghold ages ago. That is true, yeah, we played Stronghold, and we're actually going to be playing Stronghold again soonish. Yeah, I want to play through both Stronghold 1 and Crusader, like back-to-back with their campaigns. The historical ones, at least. But yeah, I haven't really played all that many, like, strategy games. Recently, we've been getting a bit into it with Pharaoh. I've actually played a little bit of the remaster or remake of the original Pharaoh from 1999, I think it was. Which is like more of a city builder, I guess, than a strategy game. And we also played a game called Pre-Dynastic Egypt, which was like more turn-based, I guess. And yeah, pretty cool actually. I really like that one. There's like even more games of that company in a similar fashion. It's like definitely more simplistic than games like Pharaoh, for instance. Because it also isn't real time, but yeah. I do enjoy a little bit of it, but I'm not like super into it. As for Age of Mythology, I haven't really seen much, to be honest. Yet. I also never played the original. So I'm definitely out of the loop when it comes to that. I may have glimpsed like a couple minutes at somebody's stream in the past couple of weeks. But wouldn't really say that I paid it much heed. Is it any good? Because is it like something that you would be interested in? Look, I have questions for you.
Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got there? What you got, huh? Show me what you got.
Jesus. These kids are unpleasant. Okay, let's relate to them first on their level. You know, they keep saying Kuno.
Kuno's Kuno, pig?
The boy points to his chest with both thumbs.
Kuno. Primal. Violent.
Is this some kind of gang name?
Yeah, Kuno's in a fucking gang. In a bang gang. Kuno bangs for Magie, bangs for Mazda, bangs for Revachol.
Mazda. I didn't know that the car company went into banging eventually. I guess selling cars didn't pay anymore. Demigod started up Brotherhood. You're just escaping the vault with Mario, and then your mission begins once again with AC. 15 years, that's a long time for to be around. Yeah. Yeah, it is definitely crazy that we're getting closer and closer to AC being 20 years old. You know, it's only gonna be 2.5 more years or something. Well, more like 3 years, but yeah. It's gonna be crazy. Because for me, AC1 still holds up so well. Maybe not to people that never played it before, but yeah, such a great title. And AC2, of course, as well.
He lays the names out there with pride and precision, like cards on a table. Right when he's getting distracted, there's a malevolent hiss behind the fence.
With precision?
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his hands on you!
Say what now? 20 years is such a long time, and how much things have happened to the series over that time. That is true too. Yeah, I mean, AC2 was already such a big change, but then of course they kept, you know, a similar type of format, I guess. But still, you know, reinventing the wheel with every major, like, gen. You know, with AC3, of course, we had, like, such a major change. Because always it seemed like, you know, AC just has to be in, you know, like, dense cities and stuff. And I think AC3 did such a great job, you know, kind of like branching out a little bit and showing us, okay, yeah, we don't actually need, you know, urban cities and stuff for parkour. You can also just take like a forest and make that work. And I think they've done it really well. But then with Unity, of course, it was good to go back again to the classic style, but then have like really a next gen feel, you know, with like the crowds and the dynamicness of, or dynamic, I guess, of a game world. But also just the technological advancements. And then the biggest change yet with Origins and the RPG games, you know. If they would, you know, show me Assassin's Creed Origins in like 2009 when AC2 came out and tell me that's what AC is gonna become eventually, I would have been like, fuck off. Probably. But to be honest, when I played Syndicate and was finished with that and waiting for Origins, Origins was like such a breath of fresh air to me. And really what I needed at that time, for sure. Because with Syndicate, like I had fun with Syndicate, like a lot of fun. But it just felt also a bit stale at that point. You know, it felt like AC didn't really have that many new ideas. Now in retrospective, if it was a Montreal game, I probably wouldn't have felt that way. But with Quebec, I guess they're not the most original. Or having the most original approaches. And yeah, the main story also like being resolved somewhat in the comics didn't help either at that point. The whole like Juno thing. Because they yet again, of course, tease it in Syndicate with, you know, the World War I stuff and the main campaign. But it's like, okay, now we have to wait and it's resolved in a comic. But yeah, safe to say many things have happened to Assassin's Creed. And I think a lot of those changes I still appreciate, you know. It's good to take some risks sometimes and not try to always make the same game, but still gotta make sure to retain your identity. Kind of like the core of what is, you know, Assassin's Creed. Like you're definitely going to be picking it up since you grew up with Age of Empires and Age of Mythology games, even if it's just a remaster. And it's actually decently priced at 30 euros, unlike most games nowadays. That's a good starting price for sure, I would say. You know, for a game like that. Now, Age of Empires I have actually played, but I think I played mostly the first game. First Age of Empires. I know that Age of Empires 2 is, I think, one of the fan favorites. But I think I mostly played Age of Empires 1 and the kind of like reworked version of it. Not sure how it was called exactly. Something with Rome. Like Rise of Rome or something like it. Like that.
Help! Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape!
The sound gets louder as the child shouts at the windows overlooking the yard.
Help! He's got the Kuno, help!
Also, give me just 1 sec. Okay, I'm back. And somewhat exhausted. Did not expect that. Basically, our neighbor ordered, like, how do you say? For the cats, you know, what you put in their toilets, basically. We say Katzenstreu. Let me actually translate that. Yeah, like cat litter. And it was like so freaking heavy. So I basically carried that up into like the next like levels. And yeah, it was like probably, I don't know, 30 kilograms or something. That's what it felt like. Definitely much, much heavier than when I carry my dog, that's for sure. Nick, you don't acknowledge any AC game after Ezio and maybe Black Flag in Unity, so that's probably blasphemy in my little merry AC band. I mean, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. And, you know, in the end, it's very subjective, of course, what you might enjoy. And yeah, I think every opinion is definitely valid. I will also happily accept if someone is like the biggest fan of AC Odyssey, you know, because I can understand if that is the case. But yeah, that of course doesn't have to be something that represents what I feel. But meanwhile, a dead body is hanging there. Yeah, I'm still holding myself back from actually investigating. Gonna see how long I can not actually interact with a body today. And thank you, dude, for welcome back. Good thing I didn't become over encumbered and couldn't move. That is true. But yeah, I was definitely like, ugh. A bit heavier than I expected. Some Malakas. Malaka, I'm on fucking fire. Just answer the question.
Help! He's digging his dick out!
Jesus Christ.
Escalate, Kuno! His dick is out! You're afraid!
Pigs in here in Kuno! Somebody, please!
Shut him down. Okay, I'm gonna, like anytime we have a choice with actual, like, basis on the RPG, you know, like traits, character traits like physical prowess, I'm gonna make it a viewer choice. So we have 1, what is this sick charade? 2, who put you up to this? 3, physical instrument, shut him down, so basically punch him out or something. And 4, don't punch him, it's a bad idea, and back off. And vote will start now. Alright, we won't punch him out. It's a bad idea.
Look,
Kuno whispers as you retreat, vanishingly silent.
I know you wanted to hit me. You got that I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up look that Kuno's dad gets. The murder look. The rage look.
It's interesting that he kind of points it out. Okay, gonna make this another viewer choice, yeah? So we have 1, no. 2, yes, but I didn't act on it. It was just a fantasy. 3, yes, how to get back to it? I want to go back to that thought. Or 4, how do you know that? You can't see inside my head. Whisper, can you read my mind, Kuno? Alright, so it's a split between 2 and 4. I chose 4, so I'm gonna go for 2 here. Yes, but I didn't act on it. It was just a fantasy.
I know what you thought. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up. I'm gonna shut that shit down. You know what? You should have, because now
He raises his voice again.
you're nothing. You're a joke to Kuno. Kuno laughs at you. King Kuno!
The whole charade was about establishing dominance over you. You backing up means he's succeeded.
Kuno turned you into his prison, bitch! You're gonna be in this shit with Kuno!
No, you're not. We can just leave.
Bitch, you're gonna be in this shit with Kuno forever!
The pipe war-headed critter doesn't let him finish. Yeah. I don't know, I don't really care about these kids, to be honest. Just gonna leave. It smells like spoiled meat and curded dairy. A human being decomposes. Letter R wears crown, on the ribbon below, a light above descending. He's like still throwing rocks, seriously. This kid's ladder is rickety but still climbable. Someone is trying to grow herbs in this greenhouse. This winch mechanism has been oxidizing for some years.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here.
What kind of boots?
Heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails, all over the yard.
Well, let's try to use the visual calculus. We don't really have a high chance, but it's worth a try.
What do you think you are? A super detective? You're hungover. These are just dents in the mud. No pattern emerges for the time being.
Okay, let's actually have a look at visual calculus here. Reconstruct crime scenes, make laws of physics work for the law. Q4 forensic scientists, tactical fighters, math-minded people. Visual calculus versus you not only in the laws of a state, but the laws of nature. It enables you to create virtual crime scene models in your mind's eye. You will see how bullets shatter the glass and from that trace a trajectory with mathematical precision. You will also count so many footprints and at a glance discern shoe size and design, as well as the height, weight and gender of the one who wore them. At high levels, visual calculus makes the world reveal its secrets to you, but you may be so absorbed by your mind diorama you don't notice as crooks steal your pants. What? I wouldn't steal somebody's pants. However, at low levels, your mind's eye will be blind. Reconstructing crime scenes will be difficult without outside help. Nick is this game making fun of British on purpose. They not only got the voiceover right, but the looks of that kid too. Yeah, it's the question where the game is supposed to be set. It's definitely developed by a British studio. And it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, it's kind of supposed to be like a mashup between like British people and French. Because French is also definitely represented as well with some of the accents you can hear in the game. But also some of the names, like currently the district we're in is called Martinez. It's a very French name. But I think we're also like on an island, which would feel like more British. So yeah, it's definitely like an alternative setting. It's not like based on real world. It's definitely like an alternative dystopia, I guess you could say.
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like and his tongue like a ball gag in his mouth. You seem to be holding your breath.
Look down.
A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils.
You see it's developed by an Estonian studio, but perhaps it's set in some post-dystopian Britain. Is it? I was under the impression it was a British studio, but maybe I read it wrong. Maybe it was just some British people working on it or something. But yeah, could be. I don't know too much yet about the actual setting and universe, like I'm still learning about it. Let go of your nose without throwing up with an 8% chance. Rot delicious. Oh yeah. Imagine the smell. God, what is that? Why is it so bad?
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
Okay, gonna make this choice up to you guys. We can either actually try to let go of a nose and without throwing up, with a low 8% chance. Or we can just turn away and leave. Alright, we're gonna try it. Let go of a nose without throwing up.
The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected. More fever than odor. It fills your mind, flushing you from within.
Let it out or try to walk away. Let's try to walk away. Legendary failure.
Too late. It's impossible to keep in. Your body curls and pushes it out, burst by burst, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet and your throat stings from the stomach acid.
God.
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it.
Thanks. Let's wipe our mouth.
The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head.
You think ammonia would help?
If you can handle the headache. Some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor.
But not you?
I can't handle the headache.
It's more likely he can handle the smell, unlike you.
The game is currently 75% off on GOG. It's 10 euros. Yeah, Yeah, I got it on Epic for, I think, 10 back then. It was definitely a very good deal. I think I bought it around Christmas, last Christmas. But yeah, I would say from what I heard so far of the game, what I played, and also how much content you are able to get out of it, it's definitely 10 euros well spent. Well, I would say that a lot of the fan base is kind of like saying don't buy the game. Because there's like a huge, I think, lawsuit behind the game, unfortunately. Basically, the studio developer got fucked over by the investors, like pretty bad. And didn't receive, I think, much of the money they were promised. Oh, what did I do? I hit my morale, apparently. So people actually recommend nowadays not to buy it, so you don't actually support the people, you know, that are profiting of a game. But yeah, if you're concerned about any of that, then you can definitely make a bit of research on the game. And what's happened there. For me it was a bit late because I didn't really know about that until after I actually purchased the game. But it's a bit ironic because it's definitely set in a game world or setting where it seems like they're actually facing similar problems. You know, like for example, a lot of the workers we met in the last stream were kind of like super outraged by the people in charge. Like the money givers, I guess you could say. But something similar would actually happen to the developers. Well, I can't openly endorse anything of the sorts, Nick, except for the donating to the developers. But yeah, people do recommend the second option as well, you know, so at least until that is sorted out. I'm not sure how the current state of affairs is, you know. Maybe all of that is sorted out at this point, but I don't think it is. But yeah, if you're curious about it, you're definitely gonna find plenty of information online. So where do you get ammonia from?
There is Frit nearby, east of the hostel. They usually have a small apothecary. If they don't...
He points to the greenhouse.
There's a greenhouse here, and a gardener with a wheelbarrow on the corner of the whirling in rags. If she works here, she might have something for the smell.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
So what, I can only actually investigate the body once I have the ammonia then? Is that it? Interesting. Okay, so we now have the lieutenant's handkerchief. But I can't apply this to my... I can't equip it, I don't think. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm the most pro streamer you've ever seen. Yeah, no. It's mostly just because it was weird. My chat disconnected there for a second. You know, sometimes there's just people who are malicious, you know. And it can be enough for them to just like report you with like a proof or something for some stuff you might have said, you know. And unfortunately, Rod can attest to that. Some people will go mouths to fuck you over. So even saying something like this, can backfire if the right people are interesting in watching you.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags. There's something in there, not necessarily connected to the case, but still.
Why am I looking at you, trash container? You're just a trash container.
The body is downwind from here. Maybe you prefer the smell of garbage to the smell of death.
Lieutenant, what do you think could be in there?
Trash, food waste from the cafeteria. They lock these containers to keep the derelicts from flocking in. Could be evidence too.
I feel like there's something in there.
What do you mean, feel?
It's just a sixth sense. Also give me another second. Alright. I just said the F word, how dare I? Well, it's up to each individual, but you find in general too many are too open online with certain things that in the wrong hands or the right hands depending could end up being bad for the individual. Exactly, It's still the internet and there's still, like it's just out there, And yeah, I don't want to bring yourself into a position where you might be compromised or something. Especially, I mean, if I hadn't have made like a negative experience in that regard, I might have been, not feeling quite as strong about it. But since we have, but also of course has an impact as to how open I am to share certain things. But yeah, it also at the same time is a valuable lesson, because you just don't really know many people online, really. With a new TOS, say, return to streaming, you'll probably get banned immediately in that case. Remember the way you behaved and talked back in the day? Lots of smoking and drinking. Yeah, I mean, smoking I think is still fine, honestly. If you mark your stream as 18 plus, I think you should be totally fine on the smoking thing. As long as you're not smoking anything illegal, that is. But even then, it would be like, as long as you're not talking about it, who will know, really? Drinking, I think, honestly, I never heard about drinking being an issue on stream. I know plenty of streamers that drink. Still. I think it's really like 18 plus, like if you mark it like that, if you intend on drinking and smoking on stream and you're fine, honestly. And in general, like most of the time, if somebody isn't looking out to report you, then you probably will be fine either way. But I live here and this is the town, you live near the landmark and you go to this shop and you buy these things and you're part of a club that operates in this area. Very good information right there. That's all the information we need to share online, all of us. Yeah, but some people really have it open, I guess, and it's crazy, like sometimes, it's even enough for people to just, for example, there's been people doing like cooking streams where the camera was like showing some of the outside of a window and then some people actually recognize where that would be, potentially, and then found out the address of a streamer. And that stuff also can be scary. You know, just with that little amount of information, you know, and then, of course, the more you like adding, you know, the more likely it's getting. %. That's scary. It really is. Yeah, well, the only reason I heard about it was because Morrow used to do cooking streams as well. Then you heard about it, and then I think he either changed his camera angles or he also like stopped doing cooking streams for a while afterwards. Because the tour was still very much, you know, actively going at that point, I believe. Eva Lukure, welcome in. Servus, mein Freund. Wie geht's? Wie steht's? Okay, I'm gonna go with it's just a hunch. Maybe someone threw something in there. How do we get the lock open?
We could try using a pry bar. There's one in my motor carriage,
Or?
Or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one.
Okay. The manager. Sure. Let's go back inside here.
Can I help you?
Is the trash container out back yours?
Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rags.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container?
Rotters even thinks where there's 5 possibilities, and one of those when we're asked about is denied. That then leaves the person with 4 other possibilities narrowed down. That is true. You know, some people might even go to that length. Just ask questions that they can answer with like no or something. Nick used to also swear in your language. It was very bad. You won't even write it here. Let's just say you're prejudiced for lack of a better word. Yeah. Yeah, I mean swearing. Not sure. I guess it depends on what kind of words you might be saying. But yeah, ultimately, I think, you know, with most of the stuff you mentioned, if you put it as 18 plus, most of the time you're probably fine. I mean, there's so many, you know, streamers like swearing a lot. Nothing ever happens. The cafe manager's voice. He always sounds very enthusiastic, doesn't he? Like he's always looking forward to talk to us. And yeah, no worries, Nick. You definitely didn't derail it in any shape or form. But yeah, if you're lurking, then I hope you enjoyed Vo.
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you.
I wonder what this feeling is.
Prod at him and find out.
I'm just gonna say we need those keys.
What do you need them for?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
Yeah, that's easier. Oh yeah, can you actually pour me a drink?
Do I have a shaker in my hand? Is this a shaker?
He sounds irritated.
You sound irritated. Why? All I want is a drink.
Am I wearing a little bow tie? Am I wearing a bow tie and doing this?
He shakes the imaginary shaker furiously.
Am I smiling? Do you see me smiling and shaking my little shaker? No. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I'm not a bartender. I'm a cafeteria manager. Is there anything else you wanted?
You don't understand the seriousness of the situation. I'm an alcoholic. I need my fix.
Even more reason for me not to serve you, sir. Was there anything else you needed other than alcohol?
I'm going to sing karaoke here. I'm just gonna leave. We got the keys. That's what we needed. But why aren't you a bartender? Exactly. Maybe you should be a bartender.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, "Whirling in rags." With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't.
I shouldn't.
Maybe you shouldn't. Of course you should. This is your time to shine, Hobocop. Dive into that extra content.
Robocop. I love it. The continuation. Interfacing. Master machines, pick locks in pockets. Cool for machinists, tinkerers, instrument players. Ah yeah, I think we did already read this. I'm quite sure. Yeah, did. Hey Gatti, he just wants to have 2 or 10 beers, that's all. Just 2 or 10. Or maybe, you know, another 2 or 10 afterwards. Hey, where are we? Welcome in. How is it going? I'm doing well, thanks. Playing a bit more Disco Elysium, we finally started investigating the dead body. You know, in the third stream or so, even though it was like the first quest objective pretty much. So we can definitely claim that we're going very fast with this playthrough. But yeah, definitely going good. Let's just open the lid.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Yikes, the smell of trash that hasn't been moved for over a week. Pick in Robocop style for extra content. Well, let's look under the box of the carton first.
You see milk, an egg rest with 1 broken egg in it, some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar.
Doing good, playing your relaxing playthrough of Black Myth Wukong. So calm. I bet, dude. It's not super fast and high speed. Requiring like very fast reaction speeds of you as a player. But I hope that's going well for you.
A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below. And turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however.
Let's pick up the rags.
A Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers.
Grab him.
As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. Drop them in here, officer.
The lieutenant produces a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket.
Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or empty. He wore them with a belt, too, a white belt. The loops appear stretched, but
He looks into the container.
the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Hey, at least you got something for the evidence bag.
Something slimy catches your eye.
Reach for it.
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
Back the shirt.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. Just garbage.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
I mean, the kids probably see lots of stuff, you know. So maybe it's not a bad bet. You just have to get through to them, and that's the biggest challenge. If it's going very good, you have had little to no problem with the bosses in the game. I mean, usually you always die once, but it's not the hardest to master. The one boss you're on right now is hard, but you can get that thing that will make it easier, you believe. That definitely is fair. And will probably feel also nice, you're not having to like redo fights millions of times. But it does look really fun. I especially like all the different gameplay styles you can use in the game. You know, like whenever I'm watching someone play Black Myth Wukong, they seem to have like completely different like play styles and builds or something. The further into the game you get, you bet the boss will get harder, but right now not too hard. Much easier than Elden Ring and Lies of P. I would love to play Elden Ring eventually. The most recent Souls game I played was Bloodborne. That game was decently difficult, but all the like main bosses you had to kill were alright, I think. It was mostly the optional enemies and also like human-like enemies that were the biggest trouble to me in the game. A bit harder than Give Me God of War. Never actually played on that difficulty. Well, I only played for the game once, and that one was, I'm quite sure, just normal or a hard difficulty or something. But I do want to replay God of War eventually, and either gonna do a no hard run or maybe something like Give Me God of War. Yeah, with Elden Ring as well, you can really dive into certain builds, right, that make it much easier, it seems. I mean, I see some people just like slicing through bosses really, without the bosses really having any kind of like chance. Okay, let's ask the kids then.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
See?
Okay, maybe not. You think someone from the whirling might have been involved, maybe?
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked and this establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
Well, let's search for food waste, I guess.
It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey,
Delicious.
nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this? A blue
What?
piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something. Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
Mine? It can't be.
Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form.
Invisible looking slip of paper sticks to the board.
If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, it just would be very convenient if we as a protagonist had something to do with all of this, you know? We just don't remember anything about it. I mean, we have a strong case of amnesia, you know? And there was also been like one moment where we looked through the trash here where we also said something feels familiar, you know? Again, kind of like indicating, okay, maybe it's not the first time we've been here, you know? But then you would have to ask yourself, how do we open it if, you know, the keys weren't given to us? Because the manager of the cafeteria would definitely, you know, memorize that. But yeah. It has a foreboding quality to it. Maybe I needed to lose it for the great bloodletting to begin. Just gonna mess with Kim here. Yeah. I'd rather not talk about it right now, I guess.
Understood.
You're not reverting his attention to the container, still stinking in front of you.
Be untroubled. If anything, this small moment has made him respect you more.
Blood for the blood god. The grey bloodletting. With grey leeches. Get your daily bleeding. For the blood god. Alright, we gotta pay homage to the Hobocop title that we have. So we're gonna dig in to the trash. I don't think it's gonna lead to anything, but who knows.
Wow, an Armistice caliber 50 knock cannon. Half wrapped in paper tissues. So shiny.
Or maybe. What's a knock cannon?
It's a giant rifle, and it's very expensive. Not as expensive as that fat string of pearls snaking around the rotten banana peels, however. And is that Cordon Electric's preamp with Electra F2 tubes? It is. That catches quite a price. We're talking 12,000, easy. Unless you're into hi-fi yourself.
I am actually. I need a good hi-fi system for my karaoke session.
That's too bad, because none of those things are actually in there. There's just food waste and crisp wrappings.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, how convenient would it be for all of these things to be in the trash canister? I don't think so. A cruel jest, there must be something.
All you see is a broken mug with a racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron.
An antique?
Only in its social sensibility.
Okay, a mug. cannot be true. It definitely can't. We got canned.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Open the lid again. Yeah, no, I
You
think
said you
good
didn't
here.
want to talk about the ledger. However, now that you have it back, it would not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Officially.
Alrighty. So, we have the damaged ledger. This is the ledger you found in the trash. It's full of notes written in a man's dance cursive. Have a closer look. Maybe it can be salvaged to start keeping notes in the case.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Lovely. Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart.
Well, let's inspect the toilet paper, huh?
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Take it off.
Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila! The ledger now looks marginally better.
Great. We successfully removed the toilet paper. That's probably the best thing I've done all day. Inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
Crocodile teeth. Run your fingers across the aluminum.
The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before.
Lieutenant, is this one of the hologram watermarks you mentioned? Point to a sticker.
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property.
Interesting. What kind of information?
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
How can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
Like, for example?
All RCM vehicles have had lights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Okay.
He returns to his neatly kept notes.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand. It's a sorry sight.
Cards of a crocodile's teeth. Indeed. That's the only thing keeping these notes together. Let's browse the white papers.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered with faint red lines forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What is in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. but there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you.
There was mention of a naming convention here.
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name.
That's crazy. And a case number and a name. But it's kind of funny, you know, how little we actually remember. You know, even about police work itself. You know, about like case numbers. Like we're literally just like, almost like a newborn, just like, you know, going into the shoes of like a cop. And trying to learn like the ropes of like, okay, what's even like, you know, life and what am I supposed to do? Definitely makes you wonder how he ever got into this, you know, position. Like, I really wonder about the backstory of the main protagonist here. What might have happened to him to even get to this point? Oh my, and they're written in a capital letter too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the Ukar Parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. You like this grimy murdering, don't you? It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Kim, my cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I mean a non-numeric one with titles.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have named a case the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself.
Wow. You gotta get through the day somehow, right? By making up interesting titles for your cases.
I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
A rail spike? Jesus. Count the pages. I have to open an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish.
Commit to paper.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
Okay, this one I'm gonna make a viewer choice here because, yeah, it's like naming the case we are supposed to investigate here for what I think is gonna be a big part of the game. And we have different choices here. So we have 1, the Hanged Man. 2, the Furies are at home in the mirror. 3, the setting sun. 4, shit on a stick. And 5, actually, I don't have one. So yeah, get ready to vote. And we're gonna start the vote now. Alright, so we have shit on a stick. Somehow I'm not surprised. That's the one with 1. Alright, so that's gonna be our case name here. Shit on a stick.
Ah, yes. I have to tell you, officer, I don't appreciate ironic titles. Other officers will have to use this as reference. If it's idiot or cockfinger, they're not going to get it. They're going to think an idiot and a cockfinger were on this case. So, do you have something less funny?
Kim isn't too pleased about that title. Hey there, Grumpy, welcome in. Guten Abend. Wie geht es dir?
Fun is outlawed with this guy. What a knock!
Okay, so shit on a stick doesn't work. We have to choose another one. So we're gonna start the vote yet again. So get ready, and we're gonna start the vote now. Okay, it's a three-way split between shit on a stick again. The Furies are at home in the mirror and the Hanged Man. I chose the first one, so I'm gonna choose the one that I haven't chosen. That we haven't said yet, which is gonna be the second one. The Furies are at home in the mirror.
Furies? Yes, well, I don't know. I have to be honest, I'm not experiencing the internal strife that refers to. And also,
He furrows his brow.
could you make it less poetic somehow? Just a normal case name, you know? Think, what would that be? A good normal name.
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna make another viewer choice. This time the choice would be between the Hanged Man and the setting sun. Let's do it.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Alright, gonna go for the Hanged Man. Also, hey, Dr. Darling, welcome in. Shit on a stick. That was the first one we've chosen. But Kim, my partner in crime, wasn't too happy about it. You okay, Grumpy? How are you? That's great to hear, Grumpy. And yeah, doing quite well. Having a nice day and evening. Playing a bit more of this game. We're finally getting to investigate the actual murder. Only took us like 3 streams to get to it. But yeah, going good. Hey, Absolution, welcome in.
Great, that's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
New skip point. Aha. As we can now like level up one individual thing here, I reckon. Well, I think I would like to improve my, like, one of the psyche skills. Let's go with volition. Hold yourself together and keep your morale up. Right, we're done inspecting these here.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Okay, let's browse the yellow papers for now.
In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out.
What types of forms are there?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of.
Let's check out the misconduct fine.
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields.
Station call.
These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing.
What about the field autopsy?
A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs, color of the irises, predation marks, condition of sexual organs.
Enough of these.
Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys.
Now that's kind of like a catchphrase for the main protagonist to use. Interview requests for bad guys and field autopsies for dead guys. Hey there, James, welcome in. Good evening.
What delicious power hid within this pathetic mess. You feel better. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
Let's look at the clipboard.
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM.
Shake the ledger.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment?
Peek inside.
The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
What did you say the color was?
Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it.
How would I open it?
With your hands. U4-sized pages hang from the clip, screwed to the top of the board.
Well, finally, let's go ahead and smell the ledger.
The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner.
James is shopping for a few minutes before bed. That's totally fair. I hope you have a nice evening so far. I'm still a couple hours away from going to bed myself, but it's definitely getting later here. It's almost 9 p.m. over here.
The lieutenant observes you, raising and lowering the toilet water-logged mass under your nose, trying to get a good whiff. A good, analytical whiff.
Excuse me, I just have to ask again. How did it get in the trash?
Yeah, I still don't want to discuss it. Or maybe I just didn't want to, be a cop anymore.
I'm sad to hear that.
For a moment, he doesn't know what to reply.
He's sorry for you.
In any case, we are lucky you found it. Make sure it's all in there. Official notes are... well, they are dangerous. They contain confidentialities.
Oh God, that sounds dangerous. Make sure you don't throw it out again.
Now, if you'll excuse me, that thing has filled me with the sudden urge to make sure mine is in perfect order.
James here too, just about hour, thinking about buying this game yourself, so checking it out. I don't blame you. Yeah, this game, when I saw Rod play it, but also some other peeps on Twitch, definitely intrigued me quite a bit. I always like narratively driven games, so this definitely fits the bill. It's certainly one of the most interesting narratives I've seen so far in games, I have to say. Mostly because you have this kind of skill tree with intellect, psyche, physique, and motorics. And they're kind of subdivided in like different categories and perspectives. And they kind of act like intrusive thoughts almost. They try to guide what you can do and what you should be doing. And it creates a very interesting story, to say the least, depending on what you kind of like focus on. Okay, so I want to make a viewer choice here between the two options we have with the logic and interfacing option. The logic option would be, can I read the case files now by using the system that Kim explained to us? Or use interfacing to open the hidden compartment in the clipboard. And the vote starts now. Sounds interesting, like the kind of games, but mostly playing age versions. Yeah. I do like these kind of games as well, for sure. Okay, so we had 67% for Smell the Ledger. We already done that. So I'm gonna go for the interfacing option. Let's open, or try to open the hidden compartment with a 58% chance.
The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. If you bend the plastic on your knee slowly, the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just,
Slide the drawer open.
Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open.
But are you not the one that chose the weird option? Absolutely not. I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think that you would ever choose antagonistic or the more like extreme choices. James, you went here before, so you chose what you would do. Totally fair, yeah. It would have been cool if the choice-based Twitch integration would actually show which ones I've already chosen. Kind of gray it out. The same way it's like grayed out in the game. That's why it can be a bit confusing to like know which ones have already been picked or asked before. So what's inside?
2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
Let's pick up the card.
Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue.
Smell it first.
It smells of chewing gum, apricot flavored. A touch of cinnamon, the end of summer. You think the label says tutti frutti.
Tutti Frutti. That's an actual brand that you can get in the UK, I think. I remember watching an episode of Misfits, which is set in England. And they mentioned Tutti Frutti as like a gum brand. Rod, have a great rest of your stream, Hopocop. I catch you next time, Sanny. No worries whatsoever, Rod. Definitely hope you have a good rest and a good night's sleep as well. And also want to give a shout out to Rod as well, for those of you that maybe haven't checked out his channel yet. He's a really great streamer, playing lots of different games. Currently he's doing some Tomb Raider, he's playing through this series. Doing his annual series run for the franchise. He's been just finishing Tomb Raider 1 to 3 and is now working on the last Revelation, which I believe is also one of his favorites in the series, since it's kind of like a bit more focused on Egypt and its mythologies. He's also a big fan of games like Assassin's Creed, playing that on regular, but also games from Rockstar like Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. He also has played this game actually, and in general loves story-driven and narrative-based games as well. And yeah, just a great guy to hang out with. Also has lots of different funny impressions that you can redeem, like the Arnie Schwarzenegger impression, or the Bane impression from Batman. So lots of great stuff to redeem there as well. Jane said it's a pretty old school gum. Not sure if it's made still. Let me actually check that out. So apparently you can still buy Tutti Frutti. And now that I saw the kind of like tabo gum, you know, that almost looks like toothpaste or something. That actually brings me back to my childhood, because we used to have these kind of like tooth-based gum things. I don't know. They looked like they were toothpaste, you know, packages, but they were actually filled with gum. And like super sweet, but yeah, we had that as kids for sure. That was ages ago. No worries for the shout out whatsoever, Rod. More than happy to give you one. And we will definitely see you soon with, I reckon, more Tomb Raider. Indeed, Kazu. We are fans of Evie and Jacob. It always looked like toothpaste, heavy chemical taste of strawberries. You were like 8 years old when you first got your hands on one. Yeah, it would have been very similar for me, like age-wise. When I first had it. Alright, let's go ahead and open it.
Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand.
Absolutely more Lara and ancient writing from the old kingdoms. Hell yeah. I'm already imagining the music that plays before you're like, you know, interacting with one of the ancient tablets. Only that it's Lara actually interacting with them. Now we just need to have like an AI that mimics Lara's voice to say ancient writing from the Old Kingdom. I'm sure Maxi can take care of it. He's our AI expert.
Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy.
Jacob is okay, kind of bit of an ass in your opinion, so you stick with Evie. I mean, that's fair. Yeah, Jacob can definitely be, how would you say? Extravagant, I guess. To put it mildly. But yeah, I do like that Jacob has some character evolution. You know, he starts out very brash and like not really caring of it much or giving a damn. But by the end you can tell that, you know, it definitely took some lessons to heart. Whereas Evie definitely starts out a bit more, maybe mature, you could say. But she's also definitely a bit more of a condescending type. But that's, I guess, the kind of like Jacob and Evie relationship, you know. She, of course, always feels like she has to fix the mess that Jacob seems to make. But sometimes that ain't so. But yeah, she's certainly badass, especially her stealth abilities. Don't mess with Evie's throwing knives. Hey, Vasekat, welcome in, dude.
Throw it away, please.
Which is funny when you consider that she blows up a lab at the start of the game. That is true as well, you know. It's like, Jacob, you derailed a train, did you? He's like, well, technically I didn't derail the train, I was just like on the train that the Templars decided to derail just to get to me. And you blew up a lab? Yeah, well, not really worth a mention, you know. But what about you? You derailed a train. But yeah, you definitely tell that, you know, she also is leaving a mess sometimes behind. Keep reading.
Your hand shakes holding the card. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you.
Keep reading.
You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it.
James and Jacob is like, what was that sound, Evie? Was it an explosion? Or sounds? Or the lab exploded? It's like, yeah, don't pay it any attention. We got more important problems, like the train that derailed, that you, Jacob, are responsible for. But it's definitely funny sometimes how quick she goes to judge Jacob for something, like completely ruining the British, you know, currency and like, yeah, economy pretty much, you know. When it's like, okay, he just went in there, he killed his target that was, you know, a member of a bank and about to rob the bank yet again, which he stopped, you know. And then he even gave the other suspects that were with the target in the bank to the authorities to deal with them. And then the authorities decided to close the bank, which then, led to like newspapers writing about it, and then the society having like less trust in the bank, and thus the currency tanking. But is that Jacob's fault? I highly doubt it. He just stopped something that would have also had a negative impact on the economy. Just money gone, pretty much. I like the scene. There's some funny scenes together. When she said to him, like, he can be the leader, how he was in the pub. And he says that they beat him to a pulp. Was so hilarious. He almost fall from a chair off when he first hear that. Oh, yeah?
Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear.
Jesus.
You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on.
Yeah, let's hold on.
To what? There's nothing.
Detective, is everything all right?
Well, fall sideways, I guess. What? It's like, starts again. No worries, James. Thanks for being here and for dropping by. I hope you have a good rest of the evening and a good night later. And yeah, catch you next time.
There is nothing. Again.
Nothing?
Nothing said, brother. No treachery, just blackout.
Just like passed out.
Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you, that's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal ganglia.
Who's that?
That's me. Blue eyes, that's me.
And who was that?
Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness, he's grasping for it. Still trying to hold on to the great sorrow slipping in the water. Slimy.
No, I was cool. I'm cool.
The cool when you're dead, brother.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow. Because it's always there.
We gained a fort, White Morning. I'm gonna check that out here in a second. Once you have access to the fort cabinet. Where is Voyager Road?
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause.
Was that the X something? The...
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
Yes, that.
Don't prod at it. It will start moving again.
Enough. Just lie there, motionless. Motionless like Osiris.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
What is that? It's cold.
And it's...
Thank you for summoning the German, Dr. Darling. Let them not remain motionless, let them not corrupt. Lass sie nicht bewegungslos werden. Lass sie nicht korruptieren. Bewegungslos. Bewegungslos wie Osiris.
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness.
Where am I?
The upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket. The air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin.
Drink. Water.
The lieutenant is extending a small canister to your mouth. Yeah, let's drink.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes. The darkness parts.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, drinking alcohol, you're basically dehydrating yourself, right? Actively.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
What happened?
I came in contact with the burned out ruins of a past, Lieutenant. Conclude.
That does sometimes happen.
Gained the ledger of failure and hatred.
You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed?
Just not.
Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill bonuses. Find it under the Tools tab in your inventory.
Alright, let's also go ahead and internalize White Morning. Gives us a temporary research bonus, -1 authority, little guy gets further and further away. Research time 5 hours. You see yourself from above. You're passed out on the blue tiles of a hostel room floor. Even from this distance you can see your eyelids flutter at the mention of what? A great white object, letting out its sweet smell like a lily of the valley. The little man's forgotten its name, but he still remembers the feeling. And look, he moves. The feeling animates him. He instinctively reaches out for the feeling's best friend, the bottle of Commodore Red. He puts on his disco clothes and gets smaller and smaller. Alright, let's go ahead and internalize this as well. Hey Vazomp, welcome in. How is it going? And yeah, it's going pretty good over here. We finally started investigating the murder. Only took us 3 streams. But yeah, we're finally actually doing some cop work. Some investigations. I've got the yellow man mark. This broken-eared mark somehow made its way into the whirling and rags dumpster. It depicts a person of Sumerian descent, frolicking in a field of saffron flowers, buck-toothed and grinning feeble-mindedly. It seems to be a cheap knockoff of some colonial-era antique.
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much.
Hey there, Abydos, welcome in. It's crazy you guy passed out from just seeing an old bubblegum wrapper. I know, right? But maybe the dehydration of drinking alcohol for 2 days straight, but not any water, also played a role. And who knows what might else has triggered him there. But yeah, definitely came crashing down on him. There's quite a lot to read into here, actually. Look at all that content.
Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
Hey there, Billy boy, welcome in. How's it going? You wonder if immortality would heighten or lower your attention span? I think it would lower mine, honestly. I reckon at some point you just become, you know, just like you get enough of like a certain, you know, behavior or like stuff happening over and over. So you might pay less and less attention to it. If things keep like, you know, happening again and again. But who knows? I haven't talked to an immortal person yet. But yeah, it's an interesting thought experiment. What do you think, Billy boy? Abydos, alcohol is liquid, water is liquid, therefore alcohol is water. You see nothing wrong with that. Indeed. As long as it's liquids, you know. Basically just drink any liquid. Doesn't matter. Second, what is this game about? So basically it's about a cop that wakes up one morning in a hostel, doesn't remember anything really about what's happened before, but now has to solve a murder, but he's not really in the best kind of like circumstance, I guess you could say, to do so. And yeah, definitely it has a very rich narrative. You have to make lots of choices, and those choices are influenced by the way you skill yourself. You basically have the option to skill between intellect, psyche, physique, and motorics. And depending what is like stronger and weaker, you will have different options to make. And you might be able to pull off things. Like you might be able, for example, with a high psyche to be more empathetic with persons you have to investigate. But with a low motoric skill for me, you know, I might have problems, for example, stealing a key that might give me access to a certain area. It's very interesting because a lot of these kind of like subcategories in the main categories here of the stats are kind of acting like intrusive thoughts that come in during choices to kind of like try to guide you into certain directions. And you can try to resist, or you can also try to give in. But yeah, it's definitely difficult to sum up in a few sentences, and I'm still quite early into it. But certainly one of the most interesting narrative-based games I've played so far, I have to say. At least in that regard. Any liquid? Yeah, let me just drink a bunch of olive oil. I'm low on hydration today. Billy boy, you believe it would depend on the person. It also depends on how memory would work. This is D&D by politics and reality. That's probably a good comparison. I haven't actually played lots of Dungeons and Dragons, but I definitely have heard more than a few times that this is kind of like based on like pen and papers as well. So I'm currently on another anniversary and another 100% playthrough. First PlayStation 5 playthrough of Spider-Man 2018. Its anniversary was on Saturday, so I decided to start a series of playthroughs. 100% on first game, 80% on the other entries of a trilogy as of then. That sounds awesome, Zomb. I love those games. They are definitely among my favorite games on the PlayStation that I played. And yeah, they're amazing. I wish I could play Spider-Man 2, but I will have to wait until it eventually comes to PC, or maybe until I eventually have a PlayStation 5. But yeah, I can't wait to play Spider-Man 2 eventually. It looks so good also with the movement, you know. They seem to have improved really on the whole, traversive front, getting to swing through the city and giving you some extra abilities to work with. And I also heard that the second Spider-Man game had like some sort of like help to stop collisions with buildings, but you can also turn that off. And that means you can actually fall to your death, I think, but also you can go for like really narrow spaces where the game would usually like try to kind of get you out of or not even touch it in any shape or form. But it makes for some really cool like montages. I've seen a couple people making like traverse videos for Spider-Man 2 that were very impressive actually. But yeah, that's for me one of my favorite aspects about those games. It's just like how fun it is to zip through New York, you know. You have to prove your innocence. Well, so far we have to more like find who the murderer was of a hanged man. But who knows, you know, there's already been like one of our items at the crime scene. So it wouldn't surprise me if we also have to prove our innocence eventually, you know. Especially with our main protagonist not knowing anything about what's happened before, you know. Maybe we had something to do with a murder. Because even the setting where this game takes place in is very well done and fleshed out, but you're not going to spoil it. Well, thank you, Abydus, I appreciate it. But yeah, I would have to agree so far. I've read that the writer behind the universe worked on like multiple thousand years of history or something. And that it apparently is under the premise that even though this is very different to any, you know, like setting that we know about in history or even contemporary, it's still on the basis that humanity under certain circumstances would still evolve in similar manners. So it's still supposed to represent, you know, something that might have happened or could have happened, I guess. But yeah, we haven't, I guess, found out too much yet. So we're still learning about what is up with all the, you know, revolutions that happened before this point and why they happened in the first place. Also, give me just 1 sec. Alright, I'm back. Billy Boy, have I decided to be racist yet? I've heard that mentioned as well before, that the game made certain people become... I mean, the game character becoming racist for some reason. Don't know what that is about yet. I mean, we definitely came in contact with racism, you know, like certain items like books that were racist, or like a racist mug that we picked up, or even like a dude that made like a comment about our partner Kim that was somewhat racist, I guess. But yeah, I've always went against it. I mean, that was the only, I guess, situation where I could say anything in that regard, and I definitely didn't support it. But who knows what's gonna happen, you know? I mean, with of course like role-playing a character. And my impression actually was that a lot of characters in this game were kind of like, I mean, racist on some level. I mean, Kim even made a remark afterwards, you know, how his people and his lineage were kind of like at this place before the dude that kind of made a racist remark about him or something. Which also sounded borderline racist, but yeah, I wouldn't really say that we made or were like presented a direct choice about it. But if it was for me, then I definitely wouldn't support it. Second, if that happens, keep repeating this. I don't know nothing. Believe me, nothing. Because it's an alternate history of sorts, yes. Indeed, yeah, that's what I've read as well. Definitely an interesting concept. And also like working on so much background history as well, you know, to the actual setting that you have. Because it really adds like so many different layers, I guess, on top. If you have all these different like historical events that predates what's currently happening. Some of the traversal in Spider-Man 2 is amazing, far more smooth and faster than the other games. That's what I've seen and heard as well, indeed. And I mean, the movement already felt so good in Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2018. But yeah, it seems they really improved greatly on it. But yeah, such good games. I've also really liked the stories and the characters, I have to say. I do like the the way they wrote Peter Parker, because I mean we had so many Peter Parker interpretations in the past couple of years. There's definitely been hits and misses, but for me the one in 2018 was definitely a hit. What I also really like is when we also focus a little bit on like the struggles that Peter Parker goes through, you know. The fact that he's kind of like neglecting, you know, his personal well-being as Peter Parker, you know, in favor of like going on the streets and, you know, like doing the goods for the people as Spider-Man. Also like the financial struggles he often has to deal with, you know. It was also really done well, I think, in the Maguire movies as well. But he could like barely pay his rent because he barely had time to even work or work like a good job. Abaddon's real life slurs in the game are actually censored, but the slurs directed towards the in-game races aren't. Even though they're made up, they feel like real slurs. I don't blame you. There definitely were some like unique names that I encountered where I was like, okay, this is clearly meant to be insulting, but I have no idea what it's supposed to mean. I noticed that as well, that they actively censored like slurs or bad language that you know, you would recognize. Makes you wonder why they actually actively censored those parts. Is the game 18 plus? I reckon not, if that's the case. Let me see if there's an age restriction on this. Yeah, it's supposed to be 18 plus. So I guess makes you wonder why they actually decided to censor it then. Toby Spider-Man would be homeless with how high prices are in New York today. No kidding, dude. It's absolutely outrageous how the whole like living market has become in some of the major cities around the world. Also in Berlin, which is like closer to where I am. It's become like crazy. The demand versus, you know, what people can provide and how expensive it's becoming, because, you know, some people just to get a flat might be like, okay, how about I just pay more, you know, so I can get a flat. It's definitely bonkers. But yeah, today Toby would have to choose another city to live in and play Spider-Man. Or just has to crash a bit more with his aunt. Okay, so we were investigating the racist mark here. This mark is an example of prejudice. I'm going to use it as an example of what not to do. You could also push into every merchant's face and say this is your main ideology. The mark will be useful by denouncing it. I can earn political capital to mask my badass hustling. The mark didn't belong in the trash, it was just a funny mark. Can't anyone laugh anymore? Yeah, so that would be the racist choice, I guess. Yeah, it's gonna be 1.
But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work. Just finish your case, detective.
Alright, so we have a ledger of failure and hatred. This is the same ledger you found in the trash, only worse somehow. It makes you think about the letter, about the woman's handwriting, about not wanting to get out of bed in the morning.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Spider-Man in Minnesota because New York is too expensive. That would be actually really funny as like a statement about, you know, current politics and stuff. You're just gonna have Spider-Man there now because you just can't afford to play superhero anymore in New York. So as we draw closer to the release of a PlayStation 5 Pro, the base console should be more affordable. So you might want to see if it's at a price range that you can justify spending on it yet. That's true, yeah. Interesting that you mentioned it because yesterday I was actually going on Rebuy, which is like a kind of like used market site, I guess, in Germany. And they can basically buy refurbished, you know, like DVDs, movies, games, but also consoles, handies, etc. And I was just interested to see like, okay, what's the price actually? And Xbox One S was like $200. PlayStation 5 was 450 to 500. So the Xbox One S costs less than half the amount that PlayStation 5 costs on the used market. And that used price for PlayStation 5 is like pretty much almost the like new price, isn't it? I mean, the PlayStation 5 is I think about $500 or so. So that was crazy to me. I mean, obviously the One S performance-wise isn't on the same level as the PlayStation 5, I guess, but still. But yeah, I mean, the PlayStation 5 is also selling much, much better. But yeah, the good thing is that so many PlayStation games are coming to PC, so it gives me less and less of a reason to, you know, justify getting a PlayStation 5. Because I still have a PlayStation 4 Pro and I can still play many exclusives on there. And then of course for newer games you have the Series X, and then I have my PC for all the other stuff, so I can play, you know, most of the games I want to play, I guess. And those I can't play yet, I don't mind waiting for. Because I reckon Spider-Man 2 is definitely gonna come to PC eventually. But I have to say, you know, that when that game was released, I was definitely thinking maybe I should get one after all. But just for one game would be a bit much. The price difference between Series S and X is also insane. You think it was like 150 to 200 euros or something? Really? I definitely would have thought it would have been a smaller difference in price. But yeah, I mean, you're definitely getting quite a bit better performance, right? With the Series X, and the Series S also becomes more and more of a hassle, I think, for a developer to deliver to because of the limitations. Plus, even though compared to the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5 doesn't have many exclusives of its own, it's still enough to one-up the Xbox Series X. Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Definitely seems to, you know, be the more solid console overall. And yeah, of course, like so many games, the PC does help. But even then, it still has better exclusives. Sad but true. But it of course depends, you know, what one might be interested in. If you're like a big fan of like Forza Horizon or something, you might wanna, you know, and you're only having console, then you might wanna go with the Series X. Or if you're just like more interested in Game Pass. Game Pass was actually a big reason why we got the Series X back then. Because it was for my girlfriend like a nice way to like test out some games without, you know, having to like buy all of them. But yeah, Game Pass of course is also gonna change, like it's gonna become much more expensive, I believe. According to what Microsoft announced. So that's gonna become like a less of a argument, I guess, for the Xbox, especially if PlayStation has PlayStation Plus, I guess. And you also have like some sort of like catalog of games to choose from. Stanley, probably back when you bought Xbox One S and AC Origins looks like Minecraft? Really? Jesus. I wonder if because Origins and Odyssey received like a 60 FPS patch, right? If that one also applied to the One S, or if it was only... If it was just the regular One S, right? Or Series S. But I've actually played a bit of Origins on the PlayStation 4 Pro. Because I got it for really cheap on like a sale, and I just wanted to like play a bit when I wasn't at home. And it was quite rough. Coming from PC and 60 FPS, you know. Definitely didn't look as good with resolution and just like general graphical quality. But also FPS wise, yeah, it was really rough. Made the combat quite a bit more difficult as well. So I definitely can't recommend Origins on the PlayStation 4 too much either. Okay, so even though we have a very low 28% chance of reading the case files, I would still like to try.
It's proving to be harder than expected. You just don't have the intellectual rigor to patch the quilt back together. Try again later.
It's possible, yes. Easy no. You need to come up with a small archaeological system to reorder the remains of your past works. If a moment overdue is fall apart in your hands, some Danes have a numeric titular system is all you have. Okay, let's put the ledger away then for now. Okay. Some true, but there are some quite worthwhile exclusives from Spider-Man 2 to Astrobot. And then there's better performance on games shared between generations to think about. Better frame rate, RTX availability in certain games such as Cyberpunk are actually playable on this generation. Yeah. Also can't forget faster load times. Yeah, with the SSD drive, I guess, you know. Also with games like Rift Apart. It was pretty cool how they used it for the whole like teleport mechanic using the loading times. I've actually played Cyberpunk on the Series X earlier this year, I think it was, or like late last year. And it ran really well, to be honest. So they've done a good job optimizing it eventually. You could also choose between performance and quality mode. I've went with 60 FPS mode. And it ran really well, but still had like a couple, you know, like small issues. These bots are really persistent today. Okay, so let's go back here. Kid is still throwing rocks. Body's still hanging there. Can I investigate anything else here? I can't climb up there, I don't think.
Yes?
I can't go over there, it seems. Let's talk to this kid.
No, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Come to snuff my shit out, I think.
Take one step closer.
Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in.
She means it. The fear is real.
I just want to ask you some questions.
I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno. Going away for life.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
Listen, child, the smell was so bad that I threw up, and I was wondering...
Stay away from me, pig. You don't want to see what happens when you corner me.
Going away for life? Or something like that. But yeah, I like the accents in this game. Got some British slang. Got some French accents. You also have some Japanese. Still waiting for some proper German accents. Yeah, I don't think I can do anything more here, right? I'd like investigate something different further. Yeah, we can still ask Garter, I guess. We can go back to the motel here. Sure, let's go back inside.
Can I help you?
Well, do we give a key back yet? Let's talk about this first. I've seen something here at the Whirling Garter, a thing I need to talk about.
thing.
I saw a sign that said the mess hall is reserved for the Union.
Yes, not the whole damn Union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction.
He tosses his head in disdain.
They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on time.
He hates the Union, but grudgingly recognizes its power over him. So he's directing his frustration at you instead. Retaliate.
It's a shame you've got to suck up to the Union to stay afloat. Ah, Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna make this a viewer choice because it's two very different, ways to go about it. So we can provocate him here with one, or we can just let it go. It will buff gratuitous baiting. And the vote will start now. That was weird, it didn't even appear for me on my screen. Oh, we're gonna provocate then. It's a shame you've gotta suck up to the Union to stay afloat.
I don't. I'm simply providing a service, or really facilitating the offering of services to paying customers, and it doesn't matter. I don't have to explain myself to you.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info.
The lieutenant gives you a meaningful nod. How do we find them?
We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men. If not today, then they'll be here tomorrow.
Got it. I saw a sign that said I couldn't go into the kitchen. Why can't I go into the kitchen? You know, maybe because it's only reserved for personal. Maybe.
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business.
I don't think we have a search warrant yet. But there may be something pertinent to the investigation in the kitchen.
He wasn't pan-fried. He was lynched. What could the kitchen possibly have to do with...
He changes his mind.
Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the cook is working. You can snoop around after that, if you must.
Okay then. I mean, it's almost 1 p.m., right? So... should be good soon.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
So I really thought I could talk to him about the clothes that we found, right? Yeah, I still have to ask him. Actually, Gata, as the local bartender, it's part of your duties to run your mouth with the customers. I am not a bartender. God damn it. I am the cafeteria manager. It's kind of funny how you often, it's like really outraged by you saying that you want to have a drink. It's like, I'm not your bartender. But he's standing at the bar and there's like nobody else to serve me, so... That's that.
Can I help you?
But I think maybe we have to initiate the whole conversation about the trash by giving the key back, so we're gonna do that for now.
Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for.
Yeah, very cool. We found the victim's clothes.
How strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Maybe you don't remember putting them there. Maybe you were sleepwalking or in a fugue state. That sounds like something we would actually be doing. So who else has keys to the trash container?
The trash collection service, CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threads that solves itself down the road.
On Clinton Street, near the Boogie Street Diamond, a small truck rattles down an alleyway. It stops by a rusted trash container. Two men, their faces rough and swollen, jump out. They look at the container despondently. CSM is written on their backs.
So I'm funny. I know if a bartender sounds like something a bartender would say to attempt to throw someone off. That is correct. Maybe he actually is a bartender.
Thank you anyway.
Could someone on your staff have put them there?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene.
Thanks, let's talk about something else.
Yes?
Do you see another
Another
thing?
Great. I love those.
Yeah, no, there wasn't anything else.
Yes?
About the money I owe. I still don't have enough to pay him back, I don't think, but
Yes. Have you got it?
how much do I owe you again?
A lot. For the room and broken window, 100 real.
Jesus, 100. And I only have 2.
Like what? I was really enjoying talking about the money you owe me.
By the way, I'm going to sing karaoke here.
Absolutely out of the question.
You wait and see, cafeteria manager. Absolutely in the question. First we find a sad banger. Then we sing this place to shit.
Sounds like a plan.
Inexplicable feminist agenda.
Thought complete.
There is something you need to see, sir. We found the remnants of an ancient artifact lodged in your hypothalamus. It is a cylindrical object, piss-weathered and smelling of liquor. The paint is peeling off, but you can clearly make out the letters Revolutionary Feminist Agenda on the hull. It appears that some time ago, before you became a joke, you were an actual feminist. Somehow you've come to that conclusion. Perhaps you can work your way back.
Look at us, actually having a bit of a backstory here. We were feminists once. Before we became a joke. Gives us +1 empathy. But also -1 electrochemistry. Would have to quit drugs to get there. Not sure if that works. If we can ever actually quit drugs. Interesting. But yeah, so every time I kind of like internalize one of these like thoughts in the thought cabinet, we basically are presented with a problem and then we, you know, find what the solution might be to give us more of an idea about who we are, I guess, in the end. It's like, in a way, kind of like an identity search. Bit of an existential crisis we're having here. let's talk to the kids once more. Maybe there's a choice that I missed.
Fuck does Kuno care?
The body, what do you know about it?
Shitload, pig. What's your question?
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno.
Kim, help me out here. What do we want to know?
If I were to want to waste my time, which I do not, I would ask them who he is, how he got there, and the usual.
You have no idea what the usual is. Just ask whatever comes to mind.
Do you know who he was?
Kuno's fuck gimp. Kuno uses the fuck gimp for target practice.
Well, it's actually 1 PM now, which means we can now go into the kitchen and investigate there.
End of conversation. Very strong. You should be this stoic.
Have you seen anyone suspicious around?
Just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt. That seems pretty fucking suspicious to Kuno.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty, Kuno.
You know how it got up there.
Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down.
So you didn't see it happening?
You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional.
Oh, okay. Where did you go then?
I don't know. Some fucking... Mesk or I don't know. Some other place. Night City. Kuno was in fucking Night City.
Night City? Talking about Cyberpunk? That's of course the name of the city that you play in Cyberpunk. So where is Night City?
Kuno gives this info out on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. Kuno didn't smoke the gimp, if that's what you meant. You're testing Kuno's patience here.
Get lost,
Well, we could try to use empathy here. We have a pretty high empathy level, but even then it's like legendary difficulty. So even with a very good empathy stat, we still have only a 42% chance. If we actually had established our authority by not backing down from Kuno, then we would have a better chance, it seems. But at least we talk to Kuno S, which means that kind of increases our empathy chance here. So yeah, let's go ahead and try this.
He's on your crime
Nope.
scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
Let's go with 2 here. Listen, I know this boundary pushing thing is new to you, but it's old news for us grown-ups.
Get your snout out of Kuno's ass. Kuno knows how hard Kuno pushes it. Kuno pushes it hard level. You should give up, Popo, or the Kun will keep fucking it out of you.
These guys are really testing my patience. But I'm not giving up yet.
Are you okay, Kuno?
She looks worried. The Khan has her confused.
That went wrong. He took it as a compliment. Then he had a minor seizure.
Above a crime scene, you kids often play in this yard?
Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. Fuck do you want with it?
Is the letter yours?
No, it's not fucking Kuno's. It's ancient. Look at it.
He thinks you're fucking fool, Kuno. He says you climb the ladder up to your magic treehouse.
Get the fuck out of here, pig. Kuno doesn't have a magic treehouse.
What's in the greenhouse then?
Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to work there.
You mean the young woman by whirling in rags, that gardener?
Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
He looks you in the eyes and nods, as if agreeing with himself. The dead man's clothes were in the trash container, points to the container. How did they get there?
Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno.
I need to know. It could be a lead in the investigation. Someone may have tampered with the murder scene.
Listen. Kuno doesn't care about this small-time shit. Just listen. Kuno saw what you did there, dumpster diving. Sad shit.
Well, I'm sure you saw worse.
Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, good price. 500 real.
Alright, entertain me. What's so great about these pants?
Pig, these are found modulars. Liquid fit, performance crotch, urban survival shit. Made in Mirova by scientists. Pants scientists.
The pants scientists?
Believe it, you need this shit.
He unzips his jacket to give you a quick peek at the plastic wrap pants. They are graphite black and look brand new.
These could drastically improve your chances of survival in the urban wilderness.
I don't think we actually read up about the savoir-faire yet. Sneak under their noses, stun with immense panache. Cool for acrobats, thieves, unbearable show-offs. Savoir-faire urges you to be better than you are. It urges you to be disco. Slip by others in Samaritan boxing style, then tumble off your back with unexpected acrobatics. It enables you to move with silent footsteps, to groove to a good beat, and to lift useful evidence of perps without them noticing. It also makes you a cooler cop, whose athletic flair will certainly impress the citizenry. At high levels, savoir-faire will make you the king of cool, which is as much to say, the most stylish douchebag in Revachol. Nobody will see you until you're ready to be seen, and then they will get the full treatment, whether they want it or not. At low levels, however, you'll be a bumbling, feckless cop, unable to catch a pair of keys thrown by your partner without losing an eye. Which is pretty much us, because we have a rating of 1 in savoir-faire.
Coach Physical Instrument endorses these pants. They are tartan ready.
I asked you what happened to his clothes. You must have seen them lying around.
Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around, except for that up there. Now you want performance gear or not, Grandpa?
The lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't say, "I told you so," any louder.
Dr. Darling going to bed 20 minutes earlier than usual, feeling extremely tired. No worries whatsoever, Dr. Darling. Definitely listen to your body and catch some good sleep, hopefully. Hope you have a good rest and a good night, dude. And yeah, definitely catch you tomorrow, I guess. And yeah, definitely feel you on bed. Earlier I was like laying down a bit after dinner and I was like, okay, I could actually sleep right now. And Levy as well. But I did hold myself back because then I probably would go to bed even later than I planned to. Abydos Coach Physical Instrument is real as fuck for that. Sure is. That's also one I have definitely a better rating of. Yeah, rating of 4. To flex our powerful muscles. And enjoy healthy organs. That goes well with my, what was it? Ah yeah, with my pain threshold. Kuno, you don't know anything about the tampering I'm investigating, and I already have pens. Now let's talk about the pens later.
Alright, Pico. Shit's rolling.
Don't do business with the pig, Kuno. He's gonna steal all your money, Kuno.
As you can see, Kuno and C don't trust you. Can't do business without trust.
There's more to his distrust than being a pig. He feels threatened by something obscure in you. What that is, however, remains a puzzle for now.
There was also a mug in the trash.
The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again?
Yes, does this racist mug have anything to do with it?
Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain. You saying you pigs are after the mug fucker? Cause he's the clothes fucker?
I can't hear you, Kuno. Speak louder, Kuno.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Kuno. Someone has tampered with a crime scene, cleaned some of it up.
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug guy gonna get tied to the radiator.
He nods in approval.
The kid may have something there. He's already come up with an interrogation technique too.
Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he wouldn't squeal. But if you find out, maybe you can...
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno. They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching. Get away from my Kuno.
Yeah? Get your bacon shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your shit done and out of Kuno's face.
And makes you wonder what happened to Kuno to become like this. You know, basically being completely wired from the outside, you know, of Kuno as. Kind of like telling him what to do, who to believe and who to trust. Because you almost had him. But, yeah, of course, he's like more listening to Kuno S than to some cops he doesn't even know.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Okay, good to know. Alright, gonna keep on investigating further next time. Because for now... Ah yeah, now we've also checked off a whole, like, ask Kuno if he knows anything. That's good. But yeah, who else has unauthorized access to the whirling trash? I'm the person you know who tampered with the scene. Well, I mean, we know that, you know, the trash company, of course, does have access, so we might have to investigate them too. However, for tonight, this is gonna be everything we will be doing. So we're gonna go and have a save here. And yeah, this is gonna be the end of the stream for tonight. Thank you all so much for coming by and for joining me for another Disco Elysium session. We're gonna continue this week, of course, further and really dive into the actual investigation. Now that we have found the body. Only took us 3 streams to get there. But it was good taking the first 2 streams, you know, to kind of get familiar with what's going on really. Getting to know some people. And most importantly, of course, what's been happening to us and why we are the way we are. Yeah, looking forward to do more of it next time. Also, Epidos, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you very much, I really appreciate it. And thank you for joining us tonight as well. Thank you everyone who came out tonight, yeah, to join us for some Disco Elysium. To all the lurkers as well and everyone who was in chat. I'm gonna go and have a look who's online and if we can send someone a raid. Let me have a look. Right, so we have Zemexi playing some Astrobot tonight. So we're gonna go and join him over there to see how it's going for him. If you would like to join us for a raid, there's some raid emotes in chat. Feel free to copy and paste them. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. Until then, take care and hope you all have a great rest of the day.